It was amazing to watch David Lammy struggle yesterday after being exposed for his disparaging remarks about President Trump. In response to the Prime Minister's inquiries, we want to show you and President Trump how our government feels about him. Stay tuned for more backtracking from this mob in today's video, where we will watch and react while also going over all of the latest news from across the nation. But first, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly expanding community. Now, guess what? Angela Rayner will be facing the same backlash as her comments and interviews have surfaced again. Of course, we aren't going to let these go, Mississippi. Just a quick note to let you know that we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available in our store. Go get them now at British.com or click the link in the description. As mentioned in the introduction, Labour has been making every effort to change their minds about Trump's election. Starmer pretends that everything is fine, but in reality, he is reeling. Now, watch a video of Angela Rayner denouncing the president and calling him every possible name. The president will soon be visited by the largest moron. Which one is the biggest idiot? Who do you believe is the biggest idiot? The competition is pretty fierce, to be honest. We have the greatest death rates in Europe, and Donald Trump is murdering thousands of Americans by giving them duff advice and his macho "I'm alright, you know, and I've survived COVID." He is a complete idiot. He has no place in the White House, he's an embarrassment, and he should be ashamed of himself, especially now that thousands of Americans have lost their lives to the deadly pandemic and COVID. I think both of them are idiots, and we deserve better than them. It will be great to see her retract these remarks, but she's so far removed from it that she can't even discuss the idea that people are unfit to lead a nation. What do you think of this Labour government's retraction, and do you think they're afraid of meeting Trump? Let me know in the comments or in another news article. After Rachel Reeves limited farmers' inheritance tax breaks, the public largely supports farmers in their fight against Labour. According to research that suggests Starmer and Reeves may have underestimated the effects of their tax raid on such a valued segment of British society, nearly half of Labour OTS and nearly 6 out of 10 people believe farms should be exempt from inheritance tax. In a focus group held Thursday evening in Scunthorpe, voters were unable to comprehend why Labour was targeting farmers. Stated that voters of all parties, including the Greens, shared the same views as Conservative voters. 75% were against change, with 74% asking if farmers had benefited or suffered from the budget. 22% gave very negative responses, while another 24% gave fairly negative responses. The people believe that Reeves's budget had the greatest detrimental impact on farmers, retirees, and small businesses, and that these groups were the only ones that outperformed farmers. Three groups who, despite not tending to be core Labour voters themselves, do attract significant public sympathy and support. This damaging polling comes as a petition to overturn the family farm tax reached 167,000 signatures today. Petitions with other 100,000 signatories are generally considered significant and, if logged on the Parliament's website, become eligible for a House of Commons debate. This one was set up by the National Farming Union and is hosted on a separate web page. However, more in Commons research also revealed more of the public believe the budget will have a negative impact on them personally, 39%, than a positive one, 133%. A third think it will make no difference to them either positively or negatively. Labour voters are also more likely to think the budget will benefit them personally more broadly. The research highlighted 61% of the public believe Labour is off to a bad start, including over a third of those who voted for Labour in the election. The pollsters add the number saying Labour is off to a bad start has almost tripled since July, while the number saying they are off to a good start has halved prior to other controversial decisions like giving up the Chagos Islands, establishing Great British Energy, and compensating the unions, not to mention the Sue Gray scandal and charges of politicising the civil service. Labour's decline in popularity started with the contentious reduction in the winter fuel payment. All of this occurred before Rachel Reeves' announcement of her tax bomb budget, which was intended to significantly increase taxation and spending. Changes to farmers' reliefs have been one of the most popular budgetary measures, and protests are scheduled for November 19 as hundreds of farmers prepare to descend on Westminster. Lastly, Prince William was heckled by demonstrators as he left a venue via the back exit. In a historic speech, Prince William showed off his extraordinary linguistic skills and made a special gesture to South Africa. The ceremony was the highlight of his trip to Cape Town, where the 5 2024 prize winners were revealed and given £1 million. The ceremony's goals were to inspire young people worldwide who might win the Earthshot Prize in the future and to create a moment of celebration by showcasing the impact made by previous winners and finalists. On his last day in South Africa, the Prince of Wales was attacked by a boisterous group of anti-monarchy demonstrators. While touring Calais in Cape Town this morning, the Prince of Wales was confronted by a group of people shouting, "Go home now," towards the future king. Other people were holding banners that read, "William, you have no sovereignty in our country," despite the protests. During the first 4 days of the tour, which is being done to commemorate the Earthshot Prize, William has been welcomed with open arms. 2024 awards Princess Kate stayed at home with their 3 kids instead of going with her husband on the visit. The award ceremony for Prince George XI, Princess Charlotte IX, and Prince Louis VI took place last night. William and his family, who were presumably watching from their Windsor cottage, walked the green carpet. One protester holding up a sign on Thursday morning saying he was angry because he believed the prince had not been to the townships to see the suffering when it was confirmed that William 42 had indeed done that. The protester appeared speechless and simply shook his head while chants were made against the prince, who carried on with the engagement unfazed. Plenty of supporters tried to drown out the opposition cheers of "William, we love you, William" could be heard from supporters of the future king. The 3 protesters joined the crowd of well-wishes just over an hour into the prince's visit. While most of the protests were aimed at William, one shouted that the future king should hand back what your grandmother stole from us. Local fishermen were also reportedly angry that they had not been asked to meet the prince today, as they claimed only Abel Loy was invited to take part in today's engagement. The protests, which were the first to have happened on the visit, were a complete contrast to the love the prince received during his walkabout today, where he was handed key rings to take home to his wife and children. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British political content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.